Alright, so I'm back on with e30. See my hair's all over the place, looking scruffy as ever. Because I've been doing a load of welding, been rolling around on the floor, welding this up, getting burnt to absolute hell. And the job's been hell. And I've just come off another job. I had to do another job before I started this job. I was welding up a DPF, hole in a DPF on a van. And I got burnt to hell doing that. Wasn't very pleasant underneath the van doing that. Anyway, back onto this e30. So we've got that all welded up now, and yes, there is a bit of filler in there. That is just to tidy it up, just to smooth and tidy out the welds. I'm going to give it a prime next. I've cleaned it up in there as well. So I'm going to give it a prime next and then seal it up, and then a paint, and then we'll get the sound deadening pad in. You'll see I've welded this in as well for the pedal. The pedal just fits on there like that. Anyway, let's get it in primer. So I've got it all cleaned down now. I'm going to be using this primer. I've given it a good clean off inside before I put this on. So this is obviously isopan zinc 182. It's a good primer. I've used this on all sorts. It's good for using on stuff you've welded up. I've used this on restoration projects. After I've done welding, I've just put this on. Then I give it a scotch off before I give it a high build prime or do any filler work or whatever. But this is good to put on stuff when you've welded it. It's, you know, give it a clean up, give your welding job a clean up, and just put some of this on to protect it. It's really good stuff. I restored my camper years ago, and I used this on the bits and bobs I did, and none of the rust has come through on the places that I've used this. So it's proven in that job that it actually works. We'll give this a bit of a spray in here then, giving it a good shake up. You should always have a mask on when you're using this. And if anyone wants to know where you can get it from, you can actually get it from Alfred's. Well, that's the primer work done, and yep, I'm changed, and the reason why I'm changed is because the camera died. Another video where the camera died, but don't worry, because there won't be many more videos with the camera dying, because I have in fact got my old phone back, and I'll be starting to do some videos with my newer phone. Anyway, back to the job in hand. So it's all primed in there now, and I've done some sealer work. So I've put some brushable seam sealer in there, as you can see. So it's had a couple of coats. It is the next day now. So it was last night when I finished the primer, and I put one coat of this brushable seam sealer in. I will say it's not the best brushable seam sealer. It is quite hard to apply. So this is a brushable seam sealer I used, and it's a Tetrasil seam sealer. In my opinion, it's not very good. I seem to remember using this years and years ago in a body shop I worked for, and it got sent back. It's no good. I've bought this by mistake. I've ended up purchasing this by mistake because it's not got they didn't have the usual seam sealer in that I wanted. So a decent brushable seam sealer, I would go for the Indasa stuff. It seems a good stuff. I can't seem to remember ever having problems with it. This stuff here, it doesn't brush very well. It's just not good stuff to use as far as I'm concerned, and you can get some reactions with it as well depending on what products you're putting it on top of. So yeah, and to be honest, the first coat I put on last night, it's not even gone off properly yet. I mean, I know it's cold, but it says it takes 2 hours to go off, and I did put a bit of heat on it. So to be honest, I would have thought it would have gone off by now. Anyway, back to this job. So I've got it all brushed on there. I'll give it some more coats when that's dried, get it built up, a bit like the factory finish that you can see in there. I've got some underneath, got it all brushed underneath. Again, I'll put some more coats underneath, and then that'll get several coats of stone guard. I'll probably sand it back a little bit before I put the stone chip on. Then obviously inside it's sealed there as I've shown you before. So once that's gone off, I'll put the sound deadening pads in that I mentioned. So this is the sound deadening pad in here. So I'll cut some of them to size, stick them down, heat them up, and that'll finish it off, be a nice tidy job. So that's another video on the E30 this week. So next week I'm going to hit these doors and get them all repaired. So next week we should be seeing a lot more progress on this vehicle. Get them sound deadening pads in there as mentioned and get it all blacked. Get the seat back in. That'll be a lump of the bodywork done then. Oh, another bit I've got to get done is this down here. So some more welding work I've got to get done is to make some plates and weld all that up. And there's the bracket to go on here. So I'll get cracked on and get that job done as well. That's another typical place where they all rot out. My e30 Cabriolet was exactly the same there. So that's it, I think. Oh, just one more thing. The DTR's still for sale, so no one's bought that yet. Obviously, you'll all know about the complications and problems I had with that bike. Well, everything's been put right on it now, the electrical problems, so that bike's just ready to go. The TZR 253MA, so I'll be working this in as well next week also. We'll start with the tank. I'll be getting all that paint stripped off the tank and doing the filler work that needs doing to it. So there's not a lot, there's only a few small dents on that. I'll be getting that filler work done and hopefully get that into primer next week as well. So that's it for this week. I'm off in the house now, I'm going to have a beer. It's Saturday night, Saturday evening. And hopefully next week I'll get a lot more work done than what I got done this week because I was fanning around doing a load of work on my mate's van. You know who you are, you absolute pain in the arse. Anyway, Mosky, if you're not subscribed, you know what to do. I'll see you next week.